Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Paper Crafts here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in central Scotland. Welcome back to another project, and today it's a little gift box that's made using a 6x6 sheet of paper, and the paper that I've used for this today is from the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper pack, which is in the new catalogue, which is now live. I've shown this in a previous video, but I'm absolutely hooked on this paper. I just love these new in colours. They are absolutely stunning. I love the bright colours, but I've deliberately tried to keep myself away from the bright colours. So I've used this with the sunflowers on it and predominantly Just Jade in the background, and I've used the new in colour Just Jade ribbon. And the one I'm going to make with you on camera just now, I'm going to use this blue piece. I'm really trying to stay away from the likes of Magenta Madness and Bumblebee, because I would just make every project using those. So I've decided to go with something with a Misty Moonlight background and the Misty Moonlight ribbon, like I did with the Just Jade on here. So it's quick and easy to make. All you'll need is a piece of 6x6 designer series paper and a scrap piece of white cardstock just for stamping the sentiment. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard and I'm going to show you how to score the piece of paper. It is, if I just take this ribbon off, it is like a pizza style box but just a different shape. So it's the same principle as a pizza box would be. So let's see now if I can get this ribbon back on, which I probably won't be able to do. Let's see, is it gonna go? Yep, there we are. And just bring that back into the middle. So in terms of scoring your piece of paper, if you've got a directional paper, like I've said before, it depends whether you want the pattern to go along that way, therefore it would be up and down this way, or whether you want it to be up and down that way. So if you want the paper to, your pattern to be up and down that way once the box is made, you want that pattern to be up and down the way when you score on the side that you're only scoring these two sides, and I'll explain that a little bit more in a minute, because with it being 6x6 we don't have a long side and a short side. So on one side, and I just always make it the first side that I score, we're going to score at 1 inch on both sides, and that's all the scoring for that side. So that's the way you want to have your pattern going, up and down the way, if you do have a directional pattern. So turn it round to the other side, and on each side you want to score at 1 inch and 2.5. Turn it round again just to make sure the spacings are exactly the same on both sides, and score at 1 and 2.5 again. So your pattern is going to go up and down, just to recap, the side where you only score at 1 inch on either side, if that makes sense. If it's a non-directional pattern, it really doesn't matter. So fold and burnish all our score lines. Just like that. And again, I'm filming in the evening, so apologies for any shadows that you do see. The light has, it's still kind of light outside and my window's just over there, but the sun really has gone down now, and it's going to get dark in a minute. So in terms of cutting, I'm not sure which side is easier to see. We've got this side where you've only got these folds, and then this way round we've got the 4 folds. So you've got 3 small squares and 2 rectangles here on both sides. So we're going to cut up the straight edge on the rectangles, taking the score line onto each of the squares as we go, and we're going to notch all these squares as well, and we're going to do the same on both sides. So straight edge on the rectangle, and a small wedge and a small wedge on either side of all the small squares. Just like that. There we go. And before I do the other side, I'm just going to have to adjust my chair because it's just suddenly shot down the way, and I was sitting about a foot lower than I was when I started. So I've turned it round, and I'm just going to wedge all these little squares exactly the same on this side. There we go. Get all these little bits off. There we are. So once we've done all the cutting, this is what you'll be left with, or this way round if you wish, and your box is going to go together like that. Now, because we don't have our 1/2 inch and 1 inch punch anymore, I'm going to use my 2 inch punch just to pick one side or the other to make a small finger notch for making opening the lid just a little bit easier. So I'm just going to make sure it's even on either side and take a piece out just about there. You can see it here as well. Shallower and wider rather than shorter and deeper with the smaller punch. It really doesn't matter, as long as you've got a bit of a notch so that you can open the box a little bit easier. So I'm just going to quickly add some tape. No, I'm not. First of all, what I'm going to do is these little tabs here, I'm just going to cut about half off of each tab, only because they overlap slightly inside the box once it's put together, and they can sometimes catch a little bit, but it's up to you. So that's about half of each of those little tabs cut off as well. And now I'm going to add my tearing tape just quickly. So on each of these small tabs, just close to the score line, but not on it or over the top of it. And again, doing the same on both sides. Just like that. And I'm just going to join it together. Now I've got to remember that my notch is here, so this section is the lid. So I'm going to use these 4 corners and these panels here to make up the base of my box. So you need to remember that, otherwise you're going to have this notch as part of the base of your box, which isn't the right thing to do. And I've just lost the lid. It's all going really well tonight. Just lost the lid from the putty end of my take your pick tool, and it's just landed on the floor. You probably heard it go. And then just any of these rough edges of my tearing tape that are overhanging, I'm just going to fold them back on themselves. And before I put it together, I am just going to take the backing off of these 2 bits as well. But I'm going to remember that I'm ignoring these 2 parts for now. So I'm just going to put it together, straight edge to folded edge, like you would for any other box. Just like that. And that's the base of my box put together. Oops, already. And then these parts here are the bits that form the lid. Again, straight edge to folded edge, and that's it. And then that top part just comes over like that, and that's my box closed. But because pizza style boxes can gape a little bit here, you can either cut these at an angle, which some people do, and I've done that myself before, or you can just tie a little bit of ribbon round like with this box, and that stops those gaping and helps to hold your box closed anyway. So I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight ribbon, again one of our 5 new in colours, and just cut that end off because I've got a mini glue dot holding it together. So I'm just going to tie this round, so I'm going to cut off enough just to be able to tie a double knot. And I can never manage to do a square knot, so I don't even try anymore. I just can't do it. Other people can do them perfectly and I can't. I don't know what I do wrong. I obviously put the ends of my ribbon in the wrong direction, so I'm not going to worry about it. And just trim that there and trim that there, and that's my bow or my knot. I probably could have tied that a little bit tighter, but it's fine, it's holding the box together, but it probably could have done with being a little bit tighter. And then I'm going to grab a scrap of Whisper White, and the stamp set I used, again another new one from the new annual catalogue, which went live on the 3rd of June. Field of Flowers, which has got some lovely little flowers, and I love this border here, and a few sentiments down here. It's a photopolymer set, so it's the clear one, and I'm just using the Thinking of You, which I've already got mounted on a block. And I may not have cleaned it after I made my first bag or my first box, but hey ho. So I'm going to use Memento ink, just ink up my stamp, press that down. I'm not worried about it not being straight because I'm going to use a punch to punch it out anyway, and I'm using my classic label punch, which fits this perfectly, and just making sure I get that straight in the middle of the punch, and I need to angle it towards myself just for a second because I can't see it very well because I'm not right over the top of it and I've got a bit of shadow from my lamp. I think that's about right. Punch that out, and then I just used some mini dimensionals on the back. 1, 2, 3. Just like so. And then I just pop that on the top of my box in the middle. Hopefully straight. I think that's straight, and that's it made. A nice quick and easy project for today, and plenty room inside there to fit lots of treats in. I don't think I gave you the dimensions of this box, so it's 4 inches by 1.5 inches by 1 inch, both boxes. So there's quite a lot of room inside to fit some tasty treats, and I think it's quite effective. Sometimes less is more without having any added embellishments, but obviously you can decorate your box however you like. But I hope you enjoyed that. Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. I'm heading towards 250 subscribers, and that's certainly my next goal for now. I'll pop all my details, all my contact details in the description bar below as well, and given that I've said that the new catalogue has now gone live, if you don't already have a demonstrator and you would like a catalogue, then please let me know and I'll be more than happy to pop one in the post to you. I can send them to the UK, France, Germany, Austria and the Netherlands. I do have copies in English, French and German, so if you're not a native English speaker, or indeed if you would prefer a catalogue in a different language, then please do let me know and I'm more than happy to send one to you. But until I see you next time, which hopefully will just be in a couple of days, then take care, stay safe, be good, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.